Morning. We just parked up at Maggie's Bridge, Loweswater in the Western Fells, our local hills, where today we're going to do a round of Blake Fell and a few others. Leave the car park and head up to Watergate Farm, pass through the farm, through the gate by the lake, and then immediately turn left and start heading up Holme Wood. Steep pull up Holme Wood. At the top here we'll eventually come to Burnbank, and then we've got another steep pull up Burnbank Fell, which is just ahead of us behind that big old spruce tree. The views to the right of us and behind us are starting to open up nicely. To the right across Loweswater we've got Loweswater Fell and Low Fell, and behind us we've got Grassmoor. This little track crosses multiple wider forest roads, but keep plodding away straight up. It's more or less a straight line all the way from the lake shore. Just down the way here we've got Burnbank at the top of the gill. We're going to cross it and then we're going to head up onto that traverse path that's going to zigzag us up to the top of Burnbank Fell. Just over the little footbridge there's a couple of ways up Burnbank Fell. You can keep going straight ahead round the corner where you'll find a more direct path, or just up here we can take an immediate left and start zigzagging our way, which is what we're going to do today. Just here. Come on Billy, up you go. As you carried on right round the fell, the other side is a lot less steep, but it's also a good bit further, so we chose the steep ascent today. Once you hit the fence here, the path runs straight up it, all the way to the summit, up there. Burnbank Fell for me is about the closest you're going to get to a fell like the fells in Scotland's southern uplands. Steep up the side of a fence, and the summit is on the corner of a fence. Just about every hill up there in the southern uplands is like that. Once you get off the steep ascent, carry on along the top of the fell, along the fence, until we find a point where we can get over it. Just here by this pile of stones is where most folk choose to get over. There's no stile as such, so if you've got a big dog and you don't think you can get over this fence, go right round the fell and come up the other side. Good boy. Coming up, 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 up. Up, up you go, lad. Up you go. And then head straight for the summit, where a little further up from the fence you'll hit the path coming from the other direction of the fell. There it is, down there. That'll drop you down to the other side of the fell, the easier route. Turn left here. The ground's reasonably frozen, so any of the swampy areas that we're going to encounter later on in the walk hopefully should be not so soft and boggy. Hopefully we don't fall in any tarns. Well, there isn't any to fall in, but I could probably find one. You probably had a little laugh at Billy's gracefulness getting over that fence, but if you noticed, he did actually use his back feet like a ladder and climbed over that fence. Didn't panic, didn't stress, all in a day's work for Billy. But I do appreciate some people could have trouble with big dogs on fences that don't have stiles in, or broken stiles, so I'll always point them out. As I said, there is an option to go around the fell and up the other direction. If you've got a little dog, just chuck him over, he'll be fine. And here we are, right on the corner of the fence, the summit of Burnbank Fell. 475 metres. It's a Wainwright and a Burkitt. So you do get good views from it. It's just not the most inspiring summit. We got Knockmerton over there. We got Blake Fell straight ahead of us where we're going to head. Fantastic views north towards Grasmoor and Whiteside. You can't see the further away fells in the north. Skidders over there somewhere. That's Binsey and the Solway Firth. West looking a bit clagged up. You could usually see Black Comb, but not today. We're going to plod along the fence up to Blake Fell. The summit of Blake Fell is the other side of this fence, so we're going to cross it just up here at the gate, and then there's another gate just there, and that track heading up to the summit. There's a stile there if you want to use it, but seeing as we've got Billy, we'll take the easy option. The two gates. Come on, lad. Come on. And then the pedestrian gate to the summit. Go on, lad. The fell just below Blake Fell to the right is Sharp Knott. It's another Burkitt if you were coming up from the other direction, or an out and back for us if we wanted to do it. And now behind Sharp Knott to our right you can see Knockmerton over Cogra Moss. the summit of Blake Fell, 573 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt and a Madeline. There's Cogra to the west below us, and you can just see the end of Ennerdale. From Blake Fell we're going to head down to Gavel Fell in the direction of Buttermere, Fleetwith Pike, straight in front of us there. To our left we've got Mellbreak, and to our right we got the Buttermere Ridge, Red Pike, High Style Crag, and right in front of us Gavel Fell, and the long ridge off Hen Comb will be taken later. We've got to drop all the way down into this col and then back up the other side. To the right of the col we've got High Pen and Low Pen, two more Burkitts if you were up at your bag and Burkitts. I would do them from the Cogra side though, or as I said earlier, you could do them as an out and back from here. The col in the bottom's called Fothergill Head, and the descent back up looks worse than it really is. It's not too bad. And Blake Fell now behind us, looking very impressive. And here we have the summit of Gavel Fell, or Gavel Fell as I usually call it, 526 metres. It's a Wainwright and a Burkitt. So just over this fence behind us a little bit, Gavel Fell has a north top, High Nook. It's a Burkitt if you wanted to cross the fence and go and bag it, but we're going to continue over the summit and down into White Oak Moss, which a lot of folk think is one of the wettest, boggiest parts of the Lake District, and they're probably right. Hopefully today we might have a bit of frost down there, so the ground might be hard. In fact, I think we'll avoid white oak moss. That's it there, just in the bottom. We'll cross the Carl, head up the other side and bag another couple of smaller hills. Banna Fell and Floutern Cop. That one and that one. Behind them, the great big one in the distance is Great Barn and Herdus on the end. Behind Herdus, Crag Fell across Ennerdale. So Banna Fell is slightly to the right of the fence, but as the path's so comfortable and flat and frozen, I'm going to continue along the path and then head over to the summit. Can't quite remember how we get off Banna Fell to Floutern Cop, whether we have to climb the fence or if there's a stile. I think it'll probably be the first option. Ah, that's handy. There's a gate. We'll head up to the summit. There's actually a track to the summit here, look. Then back down to this gate and over to Floutern Cop, just in front of us there. So an out and back to the summit. It's not far, just a couple 100 yards up here. Somewhere up here is the featureless summit of Banna Fell, or Banna Fell East Top. It might have a couple of rocks marking the summit, but I can't really see anything. And if we wander away from the summit slightly, we're going to get our first proper view of Ennerdale. Banna Fell has two summits. It has a top further down there below us to the west, 411 metres, but it's not a Burkitt, so I don't think a lot of people will bag that, but it is a classification. It's a singe, but we're not going to it. Back to the gate and over to Floutern Cop. Our good old friendly farmers. The gate's wide up, so don't even bother trying opening it. Another easy one to climb. It's annoying though, why can't they just put stiles in them, you know? Makes it hard for people with dogs. I guess dogs just aren't welcome up here. I guess because there's no footpath on the map that can do what they want, really, I suppose. There's a marker stone of some kind here, just there by Billy, from the old days. Little clamber up to the top of that one, and then back down the other side. I've actually just met a family that came down off Banna Fell and they're heading up Floutern Cop there, look, in front of me. I think it's the first time ever I've seen anyone on these fells. And the pointy little summit of Floutern Cop, 451 metres. It's a lovely little hill and it's a Burkitt. Fantastic view of Floutern Tarn below us, probably one of the remotest places in the lakes. Quite a bit of ice on the tarn there. We'll drop down the other side and then we're going to head up onto this ridge in our last fell of the day, Hen Comb. A bit of a pull up there. You won't find many footpaths on the maps of these remote western fells, but as you can see there is plenty on the ground. In the bottom of the collar we're down to about 350 metres, so we've got about another 150, 160 back up the other side to the summit of Hen Comb. And another fence. Looks like it's had a bit of maintenance done on it. Oh wow. Look what we've got here. A new style. And a dog gate. Wow. For dwarf dogs. Billy can't get through that. Over we go again. Come on here. Good boy. Up you go. Up you go. Go on, fine lad. Good boy. 5 out of 10 for effort. Certainly warmed us up. Not too far now. We're getting a glimpse of Buttermere down the valley there. I'm feeling a little bit overdressed. I just met 3 people there and the lady had a t-shirt on and she's going downhill. Are we a little bit overdressed, lad? It's not as cold now as it was early this morning, but I was going to take my jacket off, and Billy's for that matter, but we're going to sit on the top of Hen Comb for a bit, cool down, fly the drone and just chill out for half an hour, maybe even longer. The summit of Hen Comb, 509 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt and a hump, and someone's been doing a little bit of artistic work with the cane. There you go. Look at that. Very nice. What a view from up here. The wind is almost gone now. We can see our entire walk now. We went up Burnbank Fell, along the ridge to Mellbreak Fell, down to Gavel Fell, dropped down to do them 2 little Burkitts, Banna Fell and Floutern Cop, drop back down again and back up this ridge to Hen Comb. We've got a nice long ridge all the way back off now. You can see Loweswater in the distance, so we've still got a couple of miles or so to go. We've warmed up a bit now, coming off the ridge of Hen Comb. Stripped the winter gear off. Billy's down to his birthday suit as well. On the end of the ridge here we have one more little hill, Little Dodd, Loweswater, and it's a burkitt, so we may as well cross it. That's it, just there, as the ridge starts to rise back up. And here we have it, Little Dodd, Loweswater, 362 metres, another burkitt. A couple of stones marking the top. Mellbreak's north top, where we'll have to ford the river. And to the left of us, Gavel Fells ridge, coming down off High Nook. When I'd done the walk with Pete last year, we came down off that ridge because the weather was so bad up on Burnbank Fell. So that's a nice ridge to come down if you want a shorter walk. We've ticked a lot more summits off today, as we've had much better weather. As there's no wind, we've had a good play with the drones as well. I've been doing some experimental shots with that little Neo drone, like circular shots and walking into the circle and things like that. It's quite hard to get them shots because you've got to be prepared to crash the drone, which it often does. But it's fully protected with bumper gear and stuff. It's not like the bigger drone. The little Neo, you can just about crash it into a brick wall and I don't think it would do it any harm, because it's got no brains. It doesn't actually do what it's told. So there's a better view of the ridge now, coming off Gavel Fell. So yeah, any feedback on drone shots today would be greatly appreciated in the comments. Thank you very much. If I was to review that little Neo drone, it really would be hard, because it really doesn't do what it's supposed to do. It doesn't stop when it's supposed to, it doesn't come back when it's supposed to, it flies away and just does its own thing. It crashes on a regular basis. So yeah, it would be hard to give it a good review, but you know what? I absolutely love it. I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's like having a little pet bird follow you about. I would never suggest doing the walk this way around, starting on this side, because there's every possibility you're going to get wet feet at the beginning of the walk, but we're going to cross just there where that shingly shallow water is. It was top of my boots, but it didn't get past my gaiters. Back up the other side and there's a gate. You can see the path over the other side of the beck now, going up to the ridge of Hen Comb. It's a little bit sketchy finding it from the top, from where we were on Little Dodd, but we got there. Come down the side of the wall there and over the beck. Follow your way down the wall here, down this nice little lane, and it'll drop you back into Loweswater near the Kirkstyle Inn, where we'll do a little detour back to the car at Maggie's Bridge. I'm going to wrap the video up here, but I'll keep filming. I hope you enjoyed today's walk. By the time we get back to the car, we'll have done about 9 miles, so quite a good walk today. 7 summits. We could have potentially bagged another 3 buckets, making it 10 summits if we'd done a couple of out and backs, but we didn't do that. We just done the 7 that we were closest to. So yeah, I'd like to say thank you for watching. If you like my content, please think about giving me a subscribe. Goodbye from me, and goodbye from our lad, the Rockstar. So today's walk starts from Maggie's Bridge, Loweswater, where we head down the side of the lake past Watergate Farm and into Holme Wood. We crossed the footbridge at Holme Beck and immediately started to ascend the fence up to the summit of Burnbank Fell. From Burnbank Fell up to Blake Fell, dropping down Blake Fell to Gavel Fell. We then dropped down into White Oak Moss and took a little detour over to Banna Fell. From Banna Fell over to Floutern Cop, steeply down Floutern Cop, and then steeply back up to Hen Comb, following the ridge of Hen Comb down to Little Dodd, Loweswater. Dropping off the end of the ridge, we cross the beck and head back through Loweswater village to the car.